Hello, Reid. Thank you for taking my question. It's so nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Thank you. So, with my startup, AI Priori, we work with leaders from across the social sector looking to integrate AI for greater impact. And for many, it has to do with preparing for the inevitable shifts that are coming in culture, practices, and policies that are happening around us. I'm wondering if you have any advice for social sector leaders and how they can really think about creating a change management strategy that not only helps them, assimilate with this transformation with their change management strategy, but really unleashes creativity for greater impact.
Great question. The kind of things that AI Priori is doing to, help analyze the documents and pull out and that kind of thing, I think is, very good help and a very natural use of AI. I think the part of the work that you're doing that's really important is to essentially say not just the kind of the tech folks or the lawyers or others, but the social impact. Let's get this benefit for society as well. And I think that's a very important mission. Some things that undoubtedly you've already thought of that I'm going to just add in for everyone here. Obviously, the use of generative AI to generate a whole bunch of materials from the social impact sector, reports, blog posts, analyses, response to local news and how that plays into your mission and all that kind of stuff, because AI can help amplify that just as it amplifies anything with language. Another one that may not surprise people now that they've seen the OpenAI Dev Day, a bot that helps answer questions. You can have something that's there that can talk and can say, here's what things like, well, what's going on in my community, or what could I do to help? Or, is this as important as this other social cause that I care about? Or what's the relationship to it? And that can also, of course, be quite helpful in this. And then, of course, in addition to your internal, research analysis, there's also research analysis from the internet. What kinds of things to find, what is in the AI world known as RAG, to help shape a response, whether it's from the internet or other things. Undoubtedly, you probably do some of this with your AI Priori as well, is also stuff that could be really helpful. And the most fundamental piece of advice for the social impact leaders is to start experimenting. This is going to generate a lot of capabilities, and it's doing so already, and it will accelerate every 3 to 6 months. And so getting into it and doing it is really important. So, thanks for your question.
That was really helpful. Thank you. I just want to comment because it really hits the nail on the head on three of the core obstacles right now for the social sector with AI, which is really time, capacity, and resources, and the limitations that those present. So when it comes to the creativity side of it, I love the examples you brought forth, and I think those are very promising. My just one curiosity and follow-up for you, do you think there's a role for community members in terms of the equity piece in the data that's being collected and how AI is being democratized? Is there a way that community members can really embrace AI to become more creative in how they're building power and driving solutions for their communities?
Well, I think it's definitely use of the tools. And there's also, with refining the tools to be specific to their purposes is also possible. There's basically two patterns of kind of AI models. There's the super large models, which are trained on trillions of words. And so there's no community that generates enough words for that. It's trained across the whole thing. And then there's smaller models that are essentially fine-tuned. And sometimes they're fine-tuned off the large models and smaller sets of data. But in general fine-tuning, one is to say, okay, we're going to take a, kind of a largest open source model and we're going to retrain it some to our particular interests and purposes so it has a higher rate, the right language style of response, the right way of integrating, making people feel natural and at home with it. Another one is to take a large model and train a new model, but off specific data from the community, and then getting very high precision to that. Now, there's even cheaper ways, which is to do meta prompting. So, for example, if you take GPT-4 today and you put in what is known as a meta prompt, and you say, don't give the answer, just help the person towards the answer, you instantly create a tutor. The person says, so, what were the causes of the American Revolution? And it says, well, what do you think the causes might be? As opposed to, well, here's what historians argue is the top 5. And that creates a tutor. Well, that kind of meta prompting can direct this, direct the agent to be responsive in the way that you think is the right domain for this agent to be, engaged, appropriate, right language, et cetera, for a particular community too.
That's fantastic. Thank you. That was very helpful and inspiring.
This is Masters of Scale.